I am going to try Facebook one more time. This is 2 days in a row now that I've had fascinating experiences with going Facebook Live. So if you guys want to talk to me while I'm doing this, that's cool. You guys something you want to share that you didn't think of? That's awesome. Because right now I'm staring at a blank screen that says preparing live streaming preview. I can't see you guys. So if you want to talk to me, that would be awesome.
Any kind of updates from the hurricane hitting the States in Louisiana? I'm just looking at some quick pictures. Kind of devastating. We know if we have anybody out there that we need to help.
It's a great point. Right? Yeah. All right. So Facebook is still fascinating. Alex, that's a great question. I will reach out to Keller Williams Realty International and KW Cares and see what we've got going right now. I know they're going to need help, and we're definitely going to want to be ready to jump in and help them, as we always do. Victoria, remind me, I've got 7 people sitting in the waiting room. I just hit a mid-all. Okay, guys, today we're going to pick up from where we left off yesterday on the 24 topics of the Millionaire Real Estate Agent, except today's just going to be a little bit different. Going to talk about one of my favorite subjects, which is profit share. And 24 topics of the Millionaire Real Estate Agent, topic number 17, which is profit share. So I am going to share just a little bit from MREA, our playbook, and then I am going to go to a PowerPoint slide and chat with you about profit share. Great, now my mouse isn't working. Talk about multitasking, I can do this. You guys want to see what I'm doing? I'm changing the battery. Okay, we are good. Good, page 209. So a couple questions why I'm preparing is, question number 1, if something were to happen to you today and you can no longer work, is your passive income enough that it could support you and your family for the rest of your life? If you decided to retire today, are you earning enough passive income to fund the remainder of your life?
No.
Yeah, right. So let's talk about that. Here's what Gary Keller has to say about profit share and preparing for retirement, and also preparing for any unforeseen events. We have life insurance, right? I don't know how many of you have disability insurance. And if you're under the age of 40, there is a much greater chance that you're going to need disability insurance than you will need life insurance. I'm not selling insurance. All right. Retirement plans are tricky because, with the exception of equity, it is one of the few types of compensation that lasts beyond the actual period of employment. We recommend starting small and simple because takeaways are no fun. He's actually talking about creating a retirement plan for your real estate business. So if you're building that millionaire real estate business, in other words, you're building a team and you've got individuals who are part of your team, you can create a retirement plan for them. Outside of profit share, there's Corey. Welcome to the call, Corey. And start small. Takeaways are not fun. So for example, if I decided that I was going to hire somebody and pay on as part of my team, and I'm going to give them a closing bonus of $100 for every file they close, that's fine if I'm closing 24 deals. But what happens when I'm closing 200 deals? I'm going to go back to that person and say, I can no longer give you $100 per closing. We're going to have to adjust how you're being paid. That's a takeaway. And that doesn't feel good. And you lose people when you do that. Now, I'm going to share my screen. We're going to go to a conversation on profit share. I told you it was going to be very little from the book today. Okay, well, there it is.
Reminder to let people in.
Thank you for that.
You're welcome.
All right. Are you seeing a screen that says passive income?
Yes.
Yes.
Awesome. Now, Passive income, no financial risk. This letting people in as I speak. Victoria is so fascinating. No legal risk, no down payment, and no phone calls. All right. Who benefits? You and your family, your market center, and everyone who's with Keller Williams. Let me move your pictures because you guys are in front of the screen. There we go. What would you do with profit share? So one of the activities that I'd love for you to do is write down, if I were earning $1,000 a month in profit share, what would I do with that? How would that change my life? Is that a car payment? Is that part of your mortgage payment? Are you going to take $1,000 every month and put it into a savings account until you have enough money to put down on an investment property? What are you going to do different? If you're earning $2,000 a month, what would you do differently? I want you to write down these numbers and how would it change your life? If you're earning $5,000 a month in profit share, is that a mortgage payment? Could you pay your mortgage with profit share? How would that change your life? And remember, this is a decision forever. This is not a decision for the next 12 months, because as long as you stay with Keller Williams long enough to be vested, profit share is guaranteed for life. All right, I don't want to jump ahead. So who is the profit share? Who is in the Keller Williams profit share system? You and every person with Keller Williams. I'm going to skip through some of these quickly. How does profit share work? An associate joins any market center and names you. They name you as the reason they joined. They pay company dollar. The market center is profitable. And on the 21st of the month, a part of that owner's profit is going to go back out to profit share. Once you're vested, you will earn profit share for life, even after you retire. You could also will your profit share to a beneficiary. So profit share will survive you. Actually, it survives you twice. So, for example, I know that Monica's going to live longer than I am, right? Monica's my wife, for those of you who don't know. Matter of fact, I'm sure she's planning on it. And that's a joke. And when I'm gone, she'll earn profit share, my profit share for the rest of her life. And then it goes to my children, Colin and Lacey, for the rest of their life. One of my big whys that keeps me going is I am on a mission to grow my passive income to a minimum of $20,000 a month, so that when I'm gone, I'm leaving a legacy for Colin and Lacey. That will be their money for the rest of their life. All right, so what's next? Develop a purposeful plan. Know how to build your passive income. Have a plan in place to activate your passive income potential. Utilize Keller Williams resources, Profit Share and KW Connect, KW Maps coaching program on profit share. Guys, let me keep this super simple. You want a plan? Give your team leader one name and one phone number every single week. There's your plan. And let your team leader do everything else. Now, you want to lay this up so that when your team leader makes a call for you, it's not a cold call, it's a warm call. So when I call Victoria, I'm going to say, good morning, Victoria. This is John Dietz, team leader, trainer, and business coach for Keller Williams Realty. You know, Alex Kublix asked me to give you a call. He thought it would be a really good idea if you and I had a conversation. Script. Now, Victoria knows I'm calling her because Alex said, hey, would you take a phone call from my team leader? And she said, I don't want to be recruited. He said, cool. John's not going to try to recruit you. Please just take his call. And by the way, I'm not going to try to recruit Victoria. It's a coaching conversation. You guys following me? Mm-hmm. Now, when Alex does that 52 times, and Alex gives me 52 names and phone numbers and says, John, these are real estate agents who are expecting your call. And I call 52 real estate agents. Are some of them going to meet with me? Yes. Are some of them eventually going to join Keller Williams? Yes. If only 10% of them did, that would be 5 real estate agents in Alex's first level. I'm going to show you how that works next. All right, so how does your profit share tree grow? Well, there's you and your sponsor. So when you joined Keller Williams Realty, every single one of you was asked a question, which probably sounded something like this, regardless of what part of the country you're in. It probably sounded, who had the greatest impact on you joining Keller Williams? Camille, it's time for us to fill out the binding sponsorship agreement. And on page 2, you're going to name your sponsor. That individual is the one who introduced you to Keller Williams. And who had the greatest responsibility, greatest impact on you joining Keller Williams? Now, Camille says, well, John, you did. No, I didn't. Thank you. And I believe Alex introduced you to me. Would you and I be meeting if it wasn't for Alex? No. Well, then Alex is your sponsor. That's pretty simple, right? Mm-hmm. Okay, good. Just have to check every so often to make sure you guys are there. All right. How does your tree grow? All right. You've got you, your sponsor, and your sponsor's sponsor. So for this person, you are in level 2 of their profit share tree. All right, so far you haven't added anybody to your profit share tree, but now we're going to talk about that. All right, your sponsor introduced you to Keller Williams, and you introduced 3 real estate agents to Keller Williams. Remember, you didn't recruit them. You simply had a conversation around what you love about Keller Williams, why you feel Keller Williams has helped you grow a more successful business, earn more money in order to live a better life. Don't forget our mission, vision, values, guys, to build careers worth having, businesses worth owning, lives worth living, and legacies worth leaving. Now, if I truly believe in that mission statement and I introduce Camille to Keller Williams Realty, because Keller Williams is a company that's going to help Camille build a career worth having, a business worth owning, a life worth living, and it's going to enable her to have a legacy worth leaving. Don't I owe it to her to introduce her to the company? Don't you owe it to every single real estate agent that you know to share this incredible company with them? I mean, Natalie, if you and I were friends and 20 years later, I discovered Keller Williams and I came to you and I said, Natalie, you know, we're friends. We've been friends for 20 years. And I just joined Keller Williams because Shirley introduced me to the company. But you and I have been friends for 20 years and you knew how awesome this company was and you never told me? Wouldn't I have a right to feel kind of let down? You didn't share. And why don't we share, guys? Because we have this limiting belief that it sounds like we're trying to recruit people to a multi-level marketing network. It's not. You have a responsibility to share this incredible opportunity with everyone you know. Here, I like analogies, so let's do this. I've got this dog park right down the street from me. If I knew that there was $1 million in a suitcase in the dog park, and Michael and I are neighbors, I don't need the $1 million, so I'm not going to go get it. But I don't tell Michael, hey, Michael, there's a suitcase down the street. It's got $1 million in it, dude. You should go get it. And then he finds out later on I knew about this and I didn't tell him. Michael, how would you feel about that? Because I wouldn't feel very good. All right. That might be a bad analogy, but whatever. All right. So now there's your sponsor and there's you. You've got 1, 2, 3 people on your first level, the same 3 people that were on the previous slide. Now, each of them brings in 3 more people. So now you have 9 people on your second level. You've got you, 3 people on your first level, 9 on your second level. Simple enough. Focus on the first level. If you're taking notes, that's the note. Do you introduce people to your second level? No. This is not a multi-level marketing company. There are real estate companies that are, not mentioning any names, and you actually have meetings just like you would if you were part of Amway. And you invite everybody over to your house and you do a sales pitch on the company, and you're helping your downline recruit more agents to that company. That's a multi-level marketing company. In that situation, you're actually responsible for the agents who are in your downline, and you're not responsible to help them sell more real estate. You're responsible to help them recruit more people to their company. Do you get that? There's a difference. All right. Okay. Let's see who's in the waiting room. All right. So build relationships, relate, refer, recruit. Agents you do deals with and past clients. By the way, just because somebody is not a real estate agent doesn't mean, sorry guys, hold on a moment. Just because somebody is not a real estate agent doesn't mean you can't have conversations with them about this. If Eddie and I are friends, and I know Eddie would be a great real estate agent, I owe it to Eddie to start a conversation. Eddie, have you ever thought about getting your real estate license? You would be amazing. You go out to dinner and you have a waiter or waitress wait on you and they do an exceptional job. You owe it to them to ask them, have you ever thought about becoming a real estate agent? I believe that you would be a great agent. Now, if you've thought that and you didn't have a conversation with them, and that person had the opportunity to get their license and go on and build a massively successful real estate business, and they didn't because you didn't have the conversation. How do you feel about that? Okay, where do you find people or relationships with? The answer on that slide is everywhere. Okay, start the conversation. Set up a time to meet, look for opportunities to help, refer them to your team leader. Simple enough. Set up a meeting, meet for coffee, have a conversation, invite the agent to an event. That means to a training class that's coming up. Let the training class do your heavy lifting. Make a list of everybody that you know. Everybody that you know that is in real estate or would have an incredible opportunity to become a real estate agent and should consider becoming one, and start calling them. Share your stories. Stories are powerful. I'll give you a story. So I started with Keller Williams Realty in, hold on a second. I started with Keller Williams Realty in 2002. And when the team leader for Keller Williams Realty had conversations with me, like the conversation I'm having with you, my thought was, dude, I'm too busy selling houses to even think about this profit share stuff. Why are you talking to me about this? So I ignored it. And in 2015, when I became a team leader, I had exactly 0 people in my profit share tree. 0. I had one source of income, selling real estate. Now in 2014, that was cool because I was still in production and I had a mega team. We were selling a lot of houses and we were making money. But the problem was I had 0 passive income, which means when I didn't work, I didn't make money. If I got sick and could no longer work, my family was in trouble. If I were to get into a car accident, worst case scenario, and something happened to me, and let's say I died, there's nothing left for my family other than life insurance. And maybe I don't have life insurance. Now, for those of you who know me and you know my story, I'm going to stop the share screen because I want to look at you. For those of you who know me and you know my story, when I became a team leader in 2015, if you know the model at Keller Williams, a team leader is not making $900,000 a year salary. Now, that's how much money I earned the year before I became a team leader. not gross, not net, but gross. And then I became a team leader and moved 240 miles to Coral Springs and thought that I had a real estate team that was 7th leveled and would be able to continue selling real estate, and that would subsidize my income because it was going to take time to grow the market center in order for me to be able to make the money that I needed to make in order to support my family. 2 things happened. Number 1, that team didn't work without me. When I left, we had 47 listings. Within 90 days, we had less than 10 listings. That team went out of business. The money that I was making from the Dietz team went away. And then Lacey got sick and we had medical bills, a lot of medical bills. And I had one source of income. I was a team leader. This is an open book company. You can find out what my salary is if you want to. Team leaders don't make a living on the salary. They make money on growing the market center. I would have loved to have the passive income in 2000 that I have today back in 2015. If I could do it over again, that's one of the things that I would do different. Today, I have 5 sources of income. The only one I actually get paid to do is what I'm doing right now. And that's the job that I do as a team leader. And that's the only thing that I actually get paid to do. The other 4 sources of income are all through Keller Williams, and they're all passive income. And I am this close. I'm actually there. It just depends on how the market is. To having passive income that pays my bills. In other words, today, if something were to happen to me and I can no longer work, my passive income will continue to support my family. Now, don't hear me bragging because that's not the story. I'm not trying to impress you. Please don't be impressed. I want to impress upon you that you can do this. Not only can you do this, you should do this. Matter of fact, you owe it to your family to do this. All right, take yourself off mute. Talk to me.
No-brainer. Since I started Williams, 10, 12 years ago, the passive income has really been a no-brainer. Not only are you helping yourself, but when you find agents that be nurtured and grow with Keller Williams, helping them as well. Now, there are a lot of agents that are out there that are good agents, but they're just missing the coaching or extra little oomph that Keller Williams is able to go ahead and do for them. And that's one of the things that I approach them with when I'm doing business with them, saying, hey, you know what? My company can help take you to that next level. And I've seen that happen with about 4 or 5 of the people that I brought on board.
Good job, Alex. Thank you. You know, Vicki, I so much appreciate you being honest and vulnerable and being willing to share that you feel that you have to be in production in order to introduce people to Keller Williams Realty. Raise your hand if you know who Aaron Kaufman is. Yeah, there's a number of you who do, right? Aaron Kaufman hasn't sold a home in 10 years. And he has thousands of people in his downline. And he hasn't sold a house in 10 years. Matter of fact, he never did. His job is building Keller Williams Realty. That's it. Okay, guys, talk to me.
John, when you talk about downline, are you talking about other agents who are pretty much working for you?
No. Thank you for
Okay.
saying that. Thank you for saying that.
I'm
Diane.
just confused. Yeah.
No, 100% not. So you are talking about that. What I'm talking about is that visual that I showed you. It's called a profit share tree because it grows down, out, 7 levels deep and as many levels wide as it can possibly go. And all you're doing is introducing them to Keller Williams. That's it. Gary Keller said in 1987, I'm going to create a profit share model that will cause agents to never want to leave my company. That was the idea. The idea was to make you a stakeholder, a partner. 48% of the owner's profit belongs to you. Keller Williams is the only real estate company in the world that will do that for you. Matter of fact, it may be the only company in the world that does that. I don't know if there's another company that gives away 48% of their profit every month. And you have no obligation to that group. They're not working for you. Matter of fact, they could be all over the world, Diane, in 50 countries, not just here locally, anywhere that there's a Keller Williams office. Someone commented in reference to not having confidence in their team leader. So that's a slippery slope for me as a team leader to comment on, especially when it's being recorded and this is going to be on YouTube and Facebook. My only suggestion would be to continue to work with your team leader and support your team leader and do all you can to help them. It's a very hard job. It is one of the hardest. I almost said it's the hardest job, and somebody might get upset with me about that. It is one of the hardest jobs in this company. It's tough. Are there team leaders who are better than other team leaders? Of course there are. There are real estate agents who are better than other real estate agents.
There are just some people that aren't high-minded, John, and they don't get what, the company provides. I had brought someone into the company, and unfortunately, a few months later, they left because they just didn't get it.
It's going to happen. It's the success is quantity and quality, and the only thing you have control over is quantity. I have over 200 people in my downline today. It's 0 5 years ago. By the way, that doesn't mean that I recruited 200 people to the company and put them in my downline. That would make me out of culture, and they should fire me if I did that. Now, let's just say I hire an average of 10 agents every month. It's more than that, but let's just say it's 10. That's 120 a year, which means in the last 5 years, I've hired 600 real estate agents. And of the 600 agents that I've hired, 10 of those 600 are in my first level. That doesn't mean I have 10 people on my first level, because I have other people in other parts of the country that are in my first level. All right, 8:31, a couple more ahas, let's go.
So John, once you get them into your downline, what is a good way to keep them? Do we have anything to do? Should we be doing something?
No, 100% no. That's the market center's job. That's the team leader's job. That's the OP's job. That's the executive leadership team job. That's Keller Williams Realty International's job. It's not your job. It's your opportunity to introduce them to Keller Williams. That's another company. And again, I'm not going to mention names. That's not our model. Nadine, you were going to talk.
Yeah, kind of along those lines though, because I have no one in my downline now. I had a few people and it was very nice, and I need to build back up, or I intend to build back up. And I feel, for me personally, that maybe they should be on my care call list also, not anything else, just checking in with them to make sure that they're taking advantage of the things that Keller Williams has to offer. And the other point that I like, when someone asked earlier, are they working under you or for you? The key thing I think to remember is that we all cap. It's not just a bad hair day. So, when we cap, the company only makes a certain amount of money from you depending on where you are in the country. So it's my understanding, and correct me if I'm wrong, that you are only getting part of what goes into the company dollar while they're contributing. And once they cap, you're not getting any more from them. That's why it's important to have more than one or two people. And B, that's why you can clearly tell people it is not a pyramid scheme by any sense of the word, because you can only make money that goes into the company. You're not taking money from each one of their sales.
Good stuff. Thank you, Nadine.
Well,
actually, if your company dollar is 20,000, the profit to the owner on that $20,000 is approximately $4,500. That's if they're running a profitable market center according to the model.
Wow.
Yeah. Yeah. Mindy, my advice is one name, one with a phone number every week to your team leader. Just stay focused on that, and profit share will take care of itself. I promise. Over time, it will. Look at it like this. I'll close with this. It's a Chinese bamboo tree. You water and fertilize a Chinese bamboo tree. Year one, nothing happens. Year two, same thing. Year three, you're watering dirt. Your neighbors are walking by and saying, dude, what is wrong with you? You're watering the dirt. You must have lost your mind. Year four, nothing. Year five, it'll grow 90 feet in 1 year. Google it. It's true. It's a Chinese bamboo tree. Just one name with one phone number every week to your team leader. Mm-hmm. And blind faith. Mm-hmm. I don't even keep track of who's in my downline, who's leaving my downline, who's joining my downline. I haven't looked at that in 2 years. I have no idea. I just know there's over 200 people there. Cool. All right, time to get to work. What's work? Work is 20 conversations, 20 real estate conversations. It's not 19, it's not 18, it's not 17, because if you settle for 17 because it's close enough, good enough, then the 18th conversation could have been $1 million listing that you didn't get, and you're never going to know because you didn't make the call, you didn't have the conversation. We have conversations in order to build relationships. These are care calls, not sale calls. And they're only conversations if real estate is included. So a care call is checking in to see how someone's doing and what can you do to help them. And before you hang up, hey, by the way, just curious, who do you know that might be thinking of buying or selling a home? Hey, just out of curiosity, before I let you go, I know that things are going crazy in our country right now. And there's a lot of people who are struggling financially. So a lot of people that are in forbearance. And one of the things that I specialize in is helping homeowners avoid foreclosure. So if you know of anybody who's behind on their mortgage, let me know because I can help them. Add one person to your database today. Get face-to-face with one person today who is thinking of buying a home or selling a home. Doesn't matter if it's 30 days from now, 6 months from now, or a year from now, because a year from now, you're going to need listings. A year from now, that's going to be an incredible lead. There are no bad real estate agents. Oops, I blew that. There are no bad leads, just bad real estate agents who don't follow up. Oops, that hurt. I'm sorry. Okay. Follow up forever. Reject, rejection, and no is not a word that lives in our vocabulary. Make it a great day.
Thank you, John. Great weekend, John.